Tamara,
Clayton,
Amber,
Alyssa,
Haley,
Christian.
Alright guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about the evolution of fashion. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm doing just the main decades that you see on my presentation board. So to start off, I'm going to go with the Roaring 20s. The fashion for both men and women in the 1920s broke out of the prim and proper mold of Victorian ideas and put them into free-spirited casual wear, as you can see in these pictures right here. So the daytime attire and the nighttime attire for both men and women were totally different. And some examples of those are the flapper dress, complex jewelry like beads and pearls, suits for men, dresses that hung loosely on women, and even the sleeves hung loosely too. And then, of course, the popular bell hat. So moving right along to the 50s. The 50s had a wide variety of styles from the beginning to the end. It was more casual than the 20s were. And the suits for men were cut fuller and more comfortable. So it was very different from the 20s. Women like the waistline in their dresses to be snug fit and tight, so it differs from the 20s when they wore it loosely and even the sleeves were looser. So in the 50s they wanted it to be more tight fitted. Some examples of that is pastel colors and polka dots, as you can see right here. And you have the pinup style poodle skirts, sweater vest, and some of the men even like to wear button-ups with no tie, and James Dean was popular for doing that. They also had the wingtip shoes and leather jackets, kind of like in Greece. And they also would wear the, as you can see in this picture, the suits that were bigger and baggier on the men. So next we're going to go to the 70s, which is also known as, it's often called the One Decade, and it's known as the Fun Era. And it's popular for the hippie and the disco time period. And it's considered to be the first decade which men and women styles were alike and they wore similar clothing. It was also the first decade where women were seen wearing pants on an everyday lifestyle. So examples of clothing they wore in the 70s was mini skirts, bell bottoms, polyester, bright colors, and men and women also wore tight-fitting clothes, and platform shoes for both men and women, high-cut boots, low-cut pants, pantsuits for both men and women, striped V-neck shirts, as you can see she has striped shirt on, and medallions were really popular, and of course the butterfly collar. For the hippie time period they did sandals and flower patterns. So yeah, that was known for the fun era. And last but certainly not least is the 80s, which was my favorite. So for 80s fashion, they were known for their creativity, and this decade is the one that welcomed wearing brands like Coca-Cola, Nike, and Adidas. And MTV also had a big role on the fashion for this decade, because people would watch MTV and see all these widely fashioned celebrities that were and what they were wearing and want to copy them. It was also popular towards the younger crowd, so none of the older people really cared much for this decade. So some examples of clothing in the 80s is bright colors, bright colored accessories like bangles, hoop earrings, and sunglasses. They loved to tease their hair, had loud makeup, so anything that made a statement, they liked it. Neon colors were very important in this decade, and women liked baggy clothing, so they kind of took a little bit of the 20 baggy clothing and they liked that style. Parachute pants, lace, anything lace, lace gloves, lace leggings, lace shirts. scrunchy socks, flats, leg warmers, pencil skirts, tights. So they kind of had a variety of styles going on, whether it was the preppy-ish or the exercise, jazzercise going on. So all the styles differed, but also had some similarities. And I think these 4 decade and time periods is kind of what makes our fashion today. So I hope that you enjoyed this presentation, and if y'all have any questions at all, no questions? Okay, thank you.